Only my condemnation injures me. Only your condemnation injures you. Welcome back, fam. Today we are going to be studying lesson 198 of A Course in Miracles, and we are going to be shown how only my condemnation injures me. Only my giving of disapproval injures me. Only my giving of judgment injures me. Only my giving or proclaiming that this person is guilty injures me. They only injure me. Now, let me explain before we go ahead and dive in on a deeper level. Whenever I think that I am injuring or hurting or doing something to someone else, whenever I give judgment or criticism, or I give dissatisfaction or disapproval or proclaim them as guilty or whatever it may be, whenever I am doing any of those things to someone else, I may think that I'm doing something to them. They may think that they're doing something to me. That is not the case. Whenever I am giving disapproval or judgment or criticism, etc., it is only injuring me. That's it, period. If it injures them, it is because they are giving it themselves by receiving what it is that I gave. For example, if someone is giving judgment or disapproval or condemnation or criticism to me, and they're looking at me with that look that's just transmitting all of that emotion, only my condemnation injures me. Meaning, if I choose to accept and see myself in the way that they're seeing me, with those eyes of disapproval, with that perspective of criticism and not enoughness, etc., if I see myself in that way, it's going to injure me. But only my condemnation injures me. No one else's disapproval injures me except my own disapproval of myself, and vice versa. My disapproval of anyone else is not injuring them, it is only injuring me. Injure meaning I am unable to experience a peaceful mind at that given moment in time because I am believing in separation. Therefore, I am injured. I am sick. Whenever you're not at peace, you're sick. And whenever you're not at peace mentally for a long enough period of time, that is going to reflect in your external world, because they are the same. The only difference between the two, your internal and external world, is that one is at cause over the other, but that is simply it. Now, let's go ahead and pull up to lesson 198 if we're not there already. If we don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. Let's go ahead and dive straight in. Lesson 198. Only our condemnation injures us. Injury is impossible, and yet illusions make illusion. If you can condemn, you can be injured. For you have believed that you can injure, and the right you have established for yourself can be now used against you, till you lay it down as valueless, unwanted, and unreal. Already we are opening up so powerfully with this beginning statement. Now, I do want to go back and read this one more time and then break it down just a little bit, or at least acknowledge it a little bit more. But it states, for you have believed that you can injure. That's powerful. If you can condemn, you can be injured. For you have believed that you can injure, meaning if you can believe that an attack, if you believe that attack is a valuable way of going about treating someone who you think has done you wrong, your mind's all screwed up, because you're believing, one, someone could actually do something that is not of love. You could believe that that is actually real and it's actually occurring, and then you could believe that you could do the same thing. All of those are simply forms of illusion, because whenever you know who you really are and know who they really are, you understand that we are all one. You could never really do anything to actually, in truth, attack someone else, because attack is an illusion, because love cannot attack itself, and I being love and them being love cannot attack each other, because we are one. Love cannot attack itself. Love cannot attack itself. Meaning I cannot attack them, they cannot attack me. Although in this world we may believe that we can, in truth nothing's really going on. It's just form attacking form, body attacking body, dust attacking dust. But if you look at the basis of that, dust attacking dust. It makes no sense. It is insane. It is an illusion. It is meaningless. There's no meaning to dust attacking dust, because that's essentially what these bodies are at the end of the day. It is not who we really are. And the light that animates this body is the same exact light that animates that body, but the ego mind has simply forgotten that it is the light, but the light cannot attack the light because the light is one. Then does illusion cease to have effects, and those it seemed to have will be undone. Then are you free, for freedom is your gift, and you can now receive the gift you gave. Whenever you give freedom, you receive freedom, you experience freedom. Condemn, and you are made a prisoner. Forgive, and you are freed. Such is the law that rules perception. It is not a law that knowledge understands, for freedom is a part of knowledge. To condemn is thus impossible in truth. What seems to be its influence and its effects have not occurred at all. Yet must we deal with them a while as if they had. Illusions make illusions, except one. Forgiveness is illusion, and forgiveness is illusion that is answer to the rest. Powerful. One more time. Illusions make illusion, except one. Forgiveness is illusion that is answer to the rest, meaning forgiveness is also an illusion, because in truth there is nothing to forgive, because in truth all there is love, and love cannot attack itself, meaning forgiveness is unnecessary because there's nothing to forgive. Although while you are believing you are a body, you are believing that you are the ego mind, and you are believing that you are separate from that other being over there, and you believe that they or you have done something wrong, or have done something bad, or something mistake or error or whatever it may be, all that is just synonyms for doing something out of forgetting who you really are, doing something out of fear. And whenever you are believing that you are the body, that is obviously an illusion, and only forgiveness is the answer to that, although forgiveness is an illusion as well. Another way to say this, to make it make more sense, is that whenever you are in truth, there is nothing to forgive. And whenever you are in hell, for example, forgiveness is also illusion, because in truth there's nothing to forgive. But while you are in hell, that forgiveness is kind of like the last illusion there is, acting as a bridge from your awareness to fear to love. Forgiveness sweeps all other dreams away, and though it itself is a dream, and though it is itself a dream, it breeds no others. All illusions, save this one, must multiply 1,000-fold. This is powerful stuff right here, because this is really the foundation of why we think the way that we think. One more time. All illusions, save this one, must multiply 1,000-fold, meaning whenever you believe in fear, it's going to multiply in 1,000 other ideas that will cause you to believe in fear. Forgiveness, also being an illusion, is one that is not going to multiply, because it is the bridge from illusions back into truth. So it is like the mediator, it is like the medium from crossing over from the illusion back into the real world. And just like how love multiplies, so does fear. Now, love multiplies in truth, because as love extends, it extends. As fear multiplies, nothing really happens, because fear does not really exist. So that statement makes no sense at all. Although, whenever you are in this fearful state of mind, you are going to receive more thoughts like it. And forgiveness, being an illusion, is the last illusion before actually entering into a state of mind so pure. So let's go ahead and continue, but understand that anytime you are feeling lost or in doubt, or you are uncertain of anything, forgiveness is the key to transfer from that state of mind back over into the one that we're experiencing now. Yet does it point to where the truth must be, and gives direction with the certainty of God himself. It is a dream in which the Son of God awakens to his capital S self, who he really is, and to his Father, knowing they are one, who we really are and God are one. Forgiveness is the only road that leads out of disaster, past all suffering, and finally away from death. How could there be another way when this one is the plan of God himself? And why would you oppose it, quarrel with it, seek to find 1,000 ways in which it must be wrong, 1,000 other possibilities? Is it not wiser to be glad you hold the answer to your problems in your hand? One more time. Is it not wiser to be glad you hold the answer to your problems in your hand? Now, in this moment right now, because we are aware of who we really are, and we are in this moment experiencing the love that is here and now, we are glad that we hold the answer to our problems in our hand, because we know how valuable forgiveness really is. It is the bridge that is going to transfer us from being asleep back into the real world of love, from being in fear to being in love. However, the ego is not glad, because whenever you are believing you're the body and you are believing that you are the self-image that you made apart from God, you are not glad to have that key of forgiveness. You don't even understand it, because the ego doesn't understand anything, being nothing in itself. The ego does not want to deal with anything that opposes what it believes. Meaning, if you see someone over there who is in anger and they are there on a consistent basis and they have just deviated so far from the truth of who they really are, whenever they see someone like us discussing this type of conversation, we look insane to them. We look so uneducated to them. We appear to be just out of our minds and stupid and wasting our time, and we are having a pointless discussion. Whenever they see someone experiencing peace or love or joy or happiness or contentment or abundance, the ego do not want to see that, because it contradicts everything that it believes it is. Therefore, again, misery loves company. The ego looks for any shred of evidence in our wrongdoing. The ego in that person looks for any shred of evidence in our wrongdoing, so that way it perpetuates its own belief that it is what it is not. This is powerful stuff to understand, because right now, as we are in this state of mind, it is not understandable why someone would even be able to think that way, because we are in a place so close to truth that we see and we understand just a little bit. Like, okay, I understand that that's what's going on, but why would someone ever want to prove themselves right if it means not experiencing peace, if it means believing that you're something that you're not, and experiencing fear and staying there and seeing the fear in everyone and everything so that way you could be right? That makes no sense. However, I'm sure you've experienced that before yourself, being identified with the ego, believing that you're this body, and you see any shred of evidence on the news or on social media, or something that someone's doing, or whatever it may be. You see something or you read something or hear something that is fearful. This just happened, this person just did this bad thing just happened, and you want to keep reading and keep hearing more and more of it, because as you believe in that fear and that separation, and as you believe in something as attack and as that so-called bad thing, as you believe in those, it is perpetuating your belief that you are separate as well. The ego wants to remain separate because it believes that that's who it really is, and any sign of oneness or connectedness triggers it. It is a contradiction, and we have to understand that even though we may not be aware of that all the time, that's exactly what's going on whenever we are not glad to have the key of all our problems in our hands. Right now we're glad, but you have to remember that someone who is given the answer of salvation, they're not going to use it, because they don't want to use it, because they want to remain in that place of separateness, because they believe that that's who they really are. And again, regardless of how much this is making sense or not, this is simply what's going on, whether they're aware of it or not. And it's important to be aware of this going on in other people, because whenever we fall asleep, this is also what's going on with us. And now we can see it for what it really is. We can see the situation as it is really occurring in that moment, and then do something about using the key of forgiveness to getting back to this state of mind that we're at right now. Is it not more intelligent to thank the one who gives salvation and accept his gift with gratitude? And is it not a kindness to yourself to hear his voice and learn these simple lessons he would teach, instead of trying to dismiss his words and substitute your own in place of his? His words will work. His words will save. His words contain all hope, all blessing, and all joy that can never be found upon this earth. His words are born in God and come to you with heaven's love upon them. Those who hear his words have heard the song of heaven, for these are the words in which all merge as one at last. And as this one will fade away, the word of God will come to take its place, for it will be remembered then and loved. Okay, let's pause right here and understand that whenever it's using the word, someone could read these words and still not comprehend what's going on. Someone could read these words and still not be able to experience what it's conveying. So right now, me and you could actually confidently say that we are hearing the word because we're experiencing the word. We are experiencing the idea that is being conveyed to us, not only because we're intellectually understanding it, but we feel the truthfulness behind these words. We feel the experience that these words are conveying. We feel the knowingness behind these words. We feel the certainty of these words, and that in itself is the goal. That is the answer. That is the whole purpose of this course, or any course or any book for that matter, is for you to receive the idea behind the words. The words are just symbols. They mean nothing. They are representing something much deeper. And as you experience what the words are giving you, you made it. Now, if someone's just reading these words but they're not really comprehending what they mean, or they're not experiencing the powerful truth behind it, there's really no point for it at all, because they are there to share an experience. This world has many seeming separate haunts where mercy has no meaning and attack appears as justified. Yet all are one, a place where death is offered to God's Son and to his Father. You may think they have accepted, but if you will look again upon the place where you beheld their blood, you will perceive a miracle instead. How foolish to believe that they could die. How foolish to believe you can attack. How mad to think that you could be condemned, and that the Holy Son of God can die. The stillness of your capital S self remains unmoved, untouched by thoughts like these, and unaware of any condemnation which could need forgiveness. Dreams of any kind are strange and alien to the truth, and what but truth could have a thought which builds a bridge to it that brings illusions to the other side? Today we practice letting freedom come to make its home with you. The truth bestows these words upon your mind, that you may find the key to light and let the darkness end. Only my condemnation injures me. Only my own forgiveness sets me free. Only your condemnation injures you. Only your own forgiveness sets you free. No one else's forgiveness is necessary here, because you're the only person who needs to forgive yourself and everything that you've done in the past in order to be set free, because no one is condemning you but you, because it could only be but myself who I condemn. Everything is adding together Today's lesson, only my condemnation injures me. Yesterday's lesson, it can be but my gratitude I earn. It can be but my forgiveness I earn. And lesson 196 stated, it can be but myself I crucify. So we're starting to connect all the dots here and understand that only my condemnation injures me. No one else's condemnation injures me because I am the only one who could condemn myself. Therefore, only my own forgiveness sets me free because I am the only one who can forgive myself because no one else has condemned me. And to believe that your source has condemned you is a completely flawed premise, and it is only something that one who is sleeping could be capable of thinking, because anyone who is in their right mind knows that God is love, and love created me like itself. Love created me lovely. Happiness created me happy. Joy created me joyous. Eternalness created me eternal. God creates like himself and cannot create something that is completely unlike him. Meaning, if you believe, or anyone for that matter believes, that God is capable of condemning his own creation, that must mean that there is some fear and uncertainty in God, and that is super insane to believe something like that. So let's go ahead and be certain that love, which is all encompassing, can have no opposite. And God created us like itself, like himself. We are one with and a part of our source, our creator. To believe the contrary is to believe in what cannot be believed, to believe in what cannot ever occur, to believe in an illusion. Now, one more time, only our condemnation injures us, only our own forgiveness sets us free. Do not forget today that there can be no form of suffering that fails to hide an unforgiving thought, nor can there be a form of pain forgiveness cannot heal, except the one illusion which proclaims there is no condemnation in God's Son, and heaven is remembered instantly, the world forgotten, all its weird beliefs forgotten with it, as the face of Christ appears unveiled at last in this one dream. This is the gift the Holy Spirit holds for you from God your Father. Let today be celebrated both on earth and in your holy name as holy home as well. Be kind to both, as you forgive the trespasses you thought them guilty of, and see your innocence shining upon you from the face of Christ. I want to say one more thing back to what we were talking about forgiveness, because this is such a powerful theme in A Course in Miracles entirely. Forgiveness is something that you need to give yourself, because have you ever said something that you regretted saying to someone after a while? You said something so bad or so mean, and you regretted saying it. You needed to, and the only way you felt good is to forgive them, and you know that they accepted your forgiveness. That's kind of what's going on here, is that you need to forgive yourself and accept your forgiveness. And whenever you forgive yourself and accept your own forgiveness, you will be freed. That is it. There is no one else condemning you other than you. And this goes for anything that you may have done in the past, because all of those past experiences of who you used to be are still active within your mind and your memory. And if you have done something in the quote past that you regret doing, and you still hold yourself and condemn yourself for it to this day, and hold yourself accountable for it to this day, and it's still something that triggers you to this day, you need to forgive yourself at that moment in quote time in order to set that version of yourself that still exists free. You need to set yourself free. No one else is capable of setting you free but you, because you have free will. Therefore, no one can insert anything in your experience that causes you to experience something that you did not choose yourself first. Meaning, if you want freedom, you have to experience that by giving freedom. You have to forgive yourself for not experiencing that freedom. You are the only one who is in control here. You are the only one with dominion over your life, and you are the only one who can do something about it, and you are the person who got yourself there. Sometimes people feel discouraged whenever we say you are the reason why you experienced whatever it is that you're experiencing in this world. People feel angry, or they they go against that and counteract that and argue against that and say, no, that person did this thing to me. It was not my fault. And whenever you believe that anything is possible and capable of occurring in your experience that you did not choose first, you are basically saying that there is power outside of yourself that has the power to control you, or has power to take you out of your right state of mind, or to cause you to not be at peace. And whenever there is something out there that has power over you in that way, which there's not, but because you believe there is, it is going to definitely be what you experience and believe. And whenever you believe there's power outside of you, you cannot do nothing about it. You're powerless whenever you believe that something outside of you happened to you because of a reason or a condition that you can't control. You're powerless in that moment. And what me and you are remembering here is that we have done it all to ourselves, always and forever. And whenever we take full responsibility over every single small, minute thing that occurs and happens in our life, and we experience, and we are in the presence of, whether wanted or unwanted, we have to remember and affirm that we created this, and just as easily as we created this, we can create something more preferable. We can create something more lovely, more beautiful, more to our standard. Now, the person who believes that it happened to them does not have that luxury, because they are trapped in their mind, and now they believe that some outside condition has to occur in order for them to be somewhere where they want to be. Well, people like me and you just take responsibility for being where we don't want to be, and then do something about changing it because we know we have that ability. This is why it's important to know that you are the center of the world. You are the center of your own universe, of the universe. You are it all. You are doing it all to yourself. You are the source here. You are the one in control here. You are the one with dominion here. You are the one who is choosing at all moments in time. And if it's something in your life you experience that appears to be, quote, bad or, quote, negative, you chose that in some way, shape, or form, whether you were aware of it or not. And just as easily as you chose that, you can choose something different. And one more thing I want to say before we continue is that it's not so much about what happens to us, but it's more about how we feel about what's happening to us. Meaning, of course, me and you and every single one of us here in this dream, in this illusion right now, are co-creating, meaning someone could do something over there that I witness and observe from afar, and it's not so much about what happened over there, but it's more about how do I feel about what's happening over there. If I am thrown out of balance and out of peace due to viewing what happened over there from that other person's creation, then that must mean, have attached some sort of meaning to whatever that symbol is in that person's world. I have attached some meaning over there to that thing, that illusion, that form of dust, that nothingness that is neutral. I have attached some sort of meaning to it, whether it is that experience or circumstance or event or word or phrase or whatever it is that person did over there. Because I got knocked out of balance, meaning I got knocked out of peace, and I feel triggered by what they created or what's happening over there. That's the real, quote, issue here, is that how I feel about that thing, not what actually occurred, but how do I feel about it. And if something outside of yourself can trigger you, that must mean, and only that must mean, that you have attached some form of meaning. You have some past experience that is causing you to perceive this in a way that is fearful and negative and judgmental, and it is triggering you, causing you to have and experience uncontrollable and irrational emotions due to your attachment and involvement with that symbol of whatever may be occurring over there. And we have to look at that, not the symbol itself, but we have to look at what meaning have I given that symbol that's causing to throw me out of peace. And once you figure out what that symbol is, or the meaning behind the symbol, should I say, once you figure out the meaning that you have attached to that thing over there, and you forgive yourself at whatever moment in time you formed that belief, and you formed that samskara or engram, or that decision, or that declaration, or that whatever it is that you would like to call it. Whenever you formed that, at whatever moment in time, it could have been as a younger kid or a child, you experienced something and and whatever you experienced caused you to see this symbol in a way of fear, and you still believe that to this day, and it's causing you to have uncontrollable and irrational emotions. It's time to forgive yourself. It's time to set yourself free, and it's time to remove all of the meaning that you have given that neutral thing over there, so that way you see it as it really is, which is a lesson that God would have you learn. Remember, all things are lessons God would have me learn. If you're getting triggered by this thing over there, it is a lesson that God would have you learn. And if you feel at peace with that thing over there, then it is a lesson that you have already learned, and you're good, because you're experiencing love in the presence of whatever it is that's causing you to experience love. Therefore, there is no meaning that you have attached to this thing that is causing you to see something that is not there, because love is all there is. Whenever you are seeing fear in anything or anyone or anything, whenever you're experiencing fear, there is a block between love, which is you, and that outside thing over there, which is love, and you see fear in between this empty space. That empty space you have given meaning. Another way to put this so it makes a little bit more sense is whenever you see something outside of yourself, remember, everything you see is love. And if you don't do nothing about writing your own meaning on it, you're going to experience love, because everything is love. And if you're not experiencing love, that must mean that you have written meaning over whatever it is that's causing to throw you out of balance. And the only thing that needs forgiveness is not that symbol over there, and not even the meaning that you gave that thing, but you need to forgive yourself for ascribing that thing the fearful meaning that you think it is. Let's continue, and let's just understand that everything that was just stated just now was super powerful, and it sounds really nice, I know, but if we don't apply what was just said, nothing's going to change. So we have to be aware, and if we have to, we're going to go rewatch that part of the dialogue 1,000 times until we impress in our mind that we have some things that we need to forgive ourselves for. And as we forgive every aspect of ourselves that ever was, we will become more and more and more and more united and more one with ourselves, until we become the capital S self that we really are. And even becoming who we really are is an inaccurate way of saying that, because you don't have to be what you already are. You don't have to become what you already are. You simply have to be aware that that is just who you are. You are not that flawed image that you made of yourself years ago. You are not the body. You are not your accomplishments, your failures, your decisions, your past wrongdoings, your any of those things that you think that you are or you're associated with. You're none of those things. You are the self, the oneness, God. You are one with and a part of your source. You are one with and a part of all aspects of creation. You are the I am presence. You are it all. Whenever you regain that perception and that frequency and that awareness, you will be at such a state of mind of bliss and peace, and you will see everything from above the battlefield, so to speak, and you will be able to kind of move pieces on the chessboard from above the battlefield, meaning from the higher perspective and awareness and consciousness, and from the state of mind of who you really are. You have more control now, because you see from a broader perspective, because your radar screen has expanded. You see that there is infinite possibilities, and whenever you are being the tiny little body you think you are in this world named so-and-so, and you have this occupation, and this is you, and this is what you do, and you're this tiny little limited self, and you truly believe that that's all you're going to see, that's where all your decisions are being made, and it's going to continue to repeat itself, because you're making decisions based off of your radar screen. You cannot think your way out of where you thought yourself into without having a higher mind there to help guide you out of the illusion. You need someone to help guide you out of the illusion. You need someone to help guide you out of the illusion. And that is what we are here together for. We are here together so that way whenever I fall asleep, I come here, you guide me out of the illusion, and I regain this state of awareness that I'm at right now. And whenever you are not in the real world. When you're in the illusion, you come here and I will help guide you as well. We do this together. We are here for each other, and we have to remember that whenever we feel like we are alone, we have to be in someone's presence that is on a higher consciousness level to take us out of that state of mind of false thinking and illusions, and help us see that alone is a funny concept because it is not real. You are never alone. You are one with and a part of all aspects of creation, and there is no separation. And any belief in separation to any degree is going to cause some sort of fearful emotion. And it's best to understand who and what you are, because even then, whenever you experience what someone would quote call bad, you understand that you can embrace that experience because it is simply just that, an experience. It is a part of the play. It is a part of this dream that we are experiencing. It is a part of the illusion. But we have to remember that nothing that happens here in the illusion is actually happening in truth. So we can enjoy it while we are here, knowing that love is the only thing that will ever be at the end of the day, and that will never change. And nothing that I do here in this illusion can ever change who I really am. And me forgetting who I really am is what's causing me all the pain and quote problems that I think I have. And me remembering who I am is the reason why I am at peace and experiencing outrageous joy in everything I desire while being in this illusion. Now is there silence all around the world. Now is there stillness where before there was a frantic rush of thoughts that made no sense. Now is there tranquil light across the face of earth, made quiet in a dreamless sleep, and now the word of God alone remains upon it. Only that can be perceived an instant longer. Then are symbols done, and everything you ever thought you made completely vanished from the mind that God forever knows to be his holy Son. There is no condemnation in him. He is perfect in his holiness. He needs no thoughts of mercy. Who could give him gifts when he needs no thoughts of... Who can give him gifts when everything is his? And who could dream of offering forgiveness to the Son of sinlessness itself, so like to him whose Son he is, that to behold the Son is to perceive no more, and only know the Father? In this vision of the Son, so brief that not an instant stands between this single sight and timelessness itself, you see the vision of yourself, and then you disappear forever into God. Today, we come still nearer to the end of everything that yet would stand between this vision and our sight, and we are glad that we have come this far, and recognize that he who brought us here will not forsake us now, for he would give to us the gift that God has given us through him today. Now is the time for your deliverance. The time has come. The time has come today. And that is the end of today's lesson. What a beautiful, enlightening time that we have spent together. We are going to pause right here. We are going to allow this to be what we experience throughout the entire day. And if we lose track of this awareness at any moment in time, we will meet here again in each other's presence and regain our strength and our power, our vitality, our youth, our health, our eternalness, our infiniteness, our love. That is all here, always. And when we're not experiencing it, we're just unaware of its presence. Now, that being said, we'll pause, and we will meet here again for lesson 199 of A Course in Miracles.